Crimson Lady is within striking distance of Rampage as we head to race 5 of the Racing Marble League Season 2. Hello everybody, I'm Brendan. The MIBS Expressway comes with long straights and confusing turns, one of which is a very noticeable S-curve. Additionally, a large incline of the wide highway section with a small marbles booster of high power. Now we'll shoot the marbles back up, different from the usual booster we see in other courses. And the standings show good things for Rampage and not so good things for Trixie, who will start the qualifiers today, bouncing through that first chicane and ending up slow into the first hairpin. Sits at the low end of the standings with 15 points in total. Not good for Trixie this season. Heads to the S-curve, looks okay through it. And with a 12.25 Sector 1 time and a 12.5 Sector 2 time, she will hit 24.81 on the lap. 16-lap course when we get to race time. Tigger rolling out and missing the boundary on that first chicane. That looks good for a time right there. 8.72 on the first sector. Oh, well, that's really below Trixie's first sector time. He will cross 9.65 in Sector 2, and we have a 5-second difference between Tigger and Trixie about already in the qualifying times. Luminous MC following suit with a nice time through Sector 1, 8.35. And looks to do well in Sector 2. No mishaps there. Does bound a little bit diagonally and struggles in Sector 2, but still gets P1. Again, as I was saying, this will be a 16-lap course, and as you can see, a lot of marbles slowing down there at the beginning of the first sector. That's going to be certainly a place to power through. And Two-Tone not doing that right there as he... lots of 12.19 in the first sector, coming across the line 12.01, and he's barely ahead of Trixie. Look at the difference between the two times there, 24.20 followed by an 18.37. Unbelievable. Two times could be so off in calculation. Duchess, 8.67 through the first sector and crossing with a 9.69 in Sector 2. Actually better than Tigger by a little bit. And she will get P2. And Luminous MC still holding the record in the first and second sector times. And it'll be up to Predator to do something about both of those. Predator really doing the opposite. The worst Sector 1 time. Struggled through that first chicane. And here to the S-curve. Can he pick it up in Sector 2? Crossing the line, not very good, 11.81, definitely not the speed he needed there, but he does manage to stay ahead of Trixie. Accidental Genius, that ferocious looking elephant logo, as we head to that Muller corner. One Muller corner in this course, it is 90 degrees, so definitely a chance for some passing there. And with that inclined highway covering part of the corner, some suspense for the viewer as to what's going on behind those scenes. Accidental Genius hitting a 23 mark right there, 23.26, and he'll jump right into the middle of those qualifying standings. Quicksilver rolling out now and slow through the first sector. The worst first sector time. Here comes the S-curve. Around he goes, taking the inside and now the outside of that second part of the S, and straightening out for an 11.67 on the Sector 2 time. And I will say, we've seen better from Quicksilver. Marbulous, to a dead stop there through the first chicane, and that's going to be a struggle through the rest of this lap. He will cross Sector 2 with the only above 13-second time so far. Not very good. Little faster through the S-curve. Hopefully he can pick it up a little bit here. Almost hit 25 seconds, and I'm glad that he didn't. 25 seconds would not be good for a lap on this course. And Polyonics comes out a little bit stronger, missing the chicane there, and Has a lot of speed through the first sector, 8.01, almost into the sevens. Best time so far on Sector 1 today. Here comes the S-curve, very good for Polyonics, the final finish line, and 10.04, putting him into P1, 18.05 on the lap. And, well, I don't know if we're going to see any better than that. Anything below 18 would be pretty impressive. Wild Canuck, definitely not going to be the one to do that, as he runs Sector 1 with only 12.25 seconds. Rolls in and around the S-curve and will come out to the finish line not so good with P9. Blizzard. Struggling in the qualifiers lately and not good through that first chicane either. Let's see if he can pick it up here, at least get middle of the pack. He's been very good racing though, making up some of the most positions across all the races than any other marble. That's quite a good look for a racer who doesn't usually qualify very well. Again, qualifying okay the first time in the 22-second range. And we'll see if he can hold top 10 by the end of it. Octane missing any of the bumps in that first chicane, and that's going to look good for him into the multi-corner. 8.84 on the first sector, not bad. And remember, he won race 1 and definitely is looking for another win if possible. Does get P5, takes that away from Blizzard, but for how long? Sinatra, another look for Blue Marble Gang, who have all struggled with that first chicane so far. Sinatra hugging the wall on the right side for a good couple of seconds. A lot of wasted time, 12.85 on the first sector. Here comes the second sector and the S-curve. S for Sinatra, and, well, let's see if this S is kind. Looks good for him, but bounds a little bit shakily off the final bumper and comes through right above Marbulus, and that's about it. 0. Hitting off the inside of that first chicane as well and bobbling into the hairpin. And here comes Sector 2, a little bit better in Sector 1 than some of the other marbles, hitting the 11-second mark. And here comes the S-curve. And let's go to the outside there on the final part of the curve, and he'll come with 11s. P6, 22.80. Look at that gap between Octane and 0. Goes to show you how important it is to be good through that first chicane. 0 with a good 3 seconds over Octane or more. Goat, not good through the first sector as well, 12.51. Almost setting the record for the worst sector one time, about a half a second away. And Sector 2 is not much better, P12 for Goat. Greatest of all time, certainly not on this course. Hopefully we'll see that name have more power in a later race. 8.30 for Serpent Smart in the first sector, and another S for Serpent and S for Smart as he whips through that S-curve and coming across with P5. 18.51, a very solid time for Serpent Smart. Double S's on the S-curve, and that's going to spell very good for Serpent Smart. Victoria's Secret running through the first sector with a 12.15. That's not very impressive if you ask me. Through the S-curve, not holding any secrets, I hope. And coming across with P10, the secret to mediocrity might be found in Victorious this time. El Sol, third in the standings so far, up with about 80 points, 21 off of Rampage up in first. Could use a good qualifying time this time, had a lackluster race in race 4. And how will he look coming across the line today? Not very good. 11's on the board, and P11 is his. He's got a lot of 1s all around the area right now. Crimson Lady. And Crimson Lady has been our best qualifier so far this season. 2 P1s and 2 P2s to her name. The question is, will she continue in that way? Good through the first sector with 8.47. The second sector looking good too, 9.82. And she's got second place by 100th of a second, but it still is a good time. Rampage might have some trouble though. He hits off many different parts of that first chicane. A little bit of pinball playing there early in Sector 1 and does not have a good Sector 1 time. He'll have work to do. Heads to the S-curve, rolling around it, coming to the finish line. He needs a good time. He's going to need to start higher if he wants to keep that lead overall, and P15 will belong to him. So there you have it. Polyonyx, Crimson Lady, Luminous, Duchess, and Tigger will be your top 5 sitters today. Polyonyx, congratulations on pole. And we will head to race 2. They start in the tunnel that's going to keep marbles from flying off as they head up that highway incline through that powerful but small booster. And they are off and rolling. Crimson Lady, wow, what a lead through the first sector. That's a good 8 lengths or more. And a marble is stalled on the track. Lots of commotion here in the first sector. Let's see if that marble gets going, and maybe we'll get some more information as the lap goes on. Finally, some marble getting going, and it looks like Sinatra is being overlapped by everybody, finally getting going, but he's not going to do well this race. He's already a lap behind. Right now, Crimson Lady holding a wide lead on Serpent Smart, who finally is making it to that powerful marble booster and rolling up that incline. He bounds through the chicane and comes up a little on Crimson Lady, and there is some separation between the two. Serpent Smart finds the outside line. That was a good move. Saw Crimson Lady's speed lacking and was able to find space right there. Zero and Polyonyx also getting in on the mix, as well as Victoria's Secret, who's in a battle with Polyonyx right now. Crimson Lady not giving up so easily, though. She dives inside and actually loses some force there into the inside line of the Muller corner, and she's got room to head for Serpent Smart. Serpent Smart has not led many races so far this season, if any, but he's got the chance here to be in the spotlight. Zero would also like to claim that area 2 as he coming for Crimson Lady right now, closing that gap through the hairpin. Here he comes. Gets the inside line, but so does Crimson Lady, and he won't make any contact quite yet. Polyonyx, who started in pole position, back to 4th place. Victoria's Secret and Tigger with some battling right there as well. Sinatra, you can see actually towards the top of the standings, kind of just messing with the marbles at the top. You see him right behind Serpent Smart, who has now dropped to 2nd place after a huge pass by Crimson Lady there on the chicane. 2 marbles are stalled again. 1 is dislodged, and another 2 are stalled. This is definitely a scary race for a lot of marbles. Sinatra been lapped once, Goat now lapped once, Luminous MC lapped once as well, and they are not being dislodged. What is going to happen for those 2 marbles? Not much. Looks like one of them did get dislodged, and I think Luminous is stuck there. And that's an unfortunate series of events, as Luminous was actually in good straits through the qualifying and now lost it all there on the 1 chicane. Finally, Predator getting going as he is lapped. Luminous lapped twice. The other 3 lapped only once. You can see it in the top of your screen. Ooh, that's gotta hurt for most of these marbles. Crimson Lady, through all that chaos, still holding the lead. Serpent Smart is going to have to wade through marbles who have been overlapped to find Crimson Lady once again. Luminous stuck up there way behind, as well as Sinatra, and it is a gauntlet for any marble past 2nd place to get to the top 2, as they have to wade through a lot of marbles, frustrated that they couldn't stay rolling on the track. Crimson Lady, still wide separation on Serpent Smart. Look at the distance between the 2. You wonder how Crimson Lady was able to stretch so far out on a course that is so based on acceleration. Crimson Lady, who comes on one of the marbles that has been overlapped and really causing some trouble right there. She wants to get around him to put more pressure on Serpent Smart to have to pass 2 marbles. Can't get around those. She dives inside, and down the straight she goes towards that 1 lingering marble. Might be Sinatra or another marble in danger of getting overlapped. Right now, Serpent Smart is struggling to even gain any speed at all and make any moves on Crimson Lady. Very bad through that chicane as Sinatra comes up behind Serpent Smart just to cause more chaos. Crimson Lady getting around that 1 marble, which happens to be Two-Tone, who is now overlapped in today's race. Two-Tone wasn't even stuck on the side of the track, and he is getting overlapped. That's 5 marbles overlapped today. Polyonyx finding his way back up into 3rd, but you couldn't tell with all the marbles spattered about between the top few places, who have not been able to even find last place. We can take a look behind. Wild Canuck in there with, I believe that's Duchess. Who's in the middle of the pack right now, almost dropping out of 10th place, and we're already in lap 14 of 16, and it is still Crimson Lady atop the standings. Any look from any other marble would be nice, one that is not overlapped preferably, but we have 6 overlapped marbles. Trixie, who is in last place overall right now, also falling into that trap. And I couldn't even tell you which marble is behind Crimson Lady right now. Actually, I can. It is Trixie, but that's not very useful, as only Serpent Smart is even close to taking over that top spot. Crimson Lady without a win this season, so this might be a good time to do it. Here comes the last lap. Can Crimson Lady hold on amidst all the other marbles? Serpent Smart looking to find room, but really can't make up the ground. Sinatra just kind of pulling him back like an ocean, pulling back on the waves after they come towards the shore. Crimson Lady being the wave that breaks free as she crosses the line and wins the race. Serpent Smart coming just behind as many other marbles cross the track, but only few of them get to put their names up on the MIBS Express Raceway. Top 5, that being Polyonyx, Victoria's Secret, and Octane in 3 to 5. Blizzard, Tigger, El Sol, Wild Canuck, Zero, Marvelous, Rampage follow suit to 12. Quicksilver, Duchess, Trixie, finally. Accidental Genius, Sinatra, and a few others still to come. Many other marbles continuing to roll around the finish line as some of the overlapped in trouble racers finally trudge towards the finish line. Now we got Two-Tone, Predator, Goat, and the race officials being a little bit rude but a little bit kind to the viewers, at least, putting a time lapse as they let Luminous finally cross the finish line. And that'll do it. Crimson Lady taking her first race of the season, already to race 5 before she could finally do it. Serpent Smart and Polyonyx, also two of their best race so far this season, getting 2nd and 3rd. Polyonyx, 3 points for pole, and Crimson Lady, 3 points for most laps led. What a race by those two. And that's going to put Crimson Lady in good straits heading into race 6. I think she did make up enough points to come very close to Rampage, if not pass him, heading into the final race. Yes, she does. 5 points ahead of Rampage there, 117 to 112. Also still holding on to 3rd somehow. Serpent Smart moved up quite a bit to 83. Octane still sitting in 6th with 71. Trixie, a sad story of 22 total points on the 5 races. Also, look at Blizzard and Zero with 68 and 69. They aren't marbles to count out quite yet, but there's only a few marbles left that could win the overall race. What a race that was. Many marbles getting overlapped. I believe 7 on the race. Disaster for some of these racers, but for Crimson Lady and Serpent Smart, and even Polyonyx, that was quite a fun race for them. Highs and lows will bring us towards the last race of race 6 as we see which marbles can pull up and attack Crimson Lady and maybe bring home a new victor in Season 2. Thanks for watching.